What? Don't say. Yeah, right? Good afternoon and happy Sabbath, Covenant Advent Church. And good afternoon and happy Sabbath to those of you who've joined us online. Welcome back for our study. Thank you for joining, and I pray that you'll be richly blessed as we worship together for the last remaining moments of the Sabbath. Let us turn in our hymnals to our opening hymn, which will be 286, Wonderful Words of Life, number 286. And when it is found, I'll ask that you kindly stand as we have our closing hymn. Our opening hymn, hymn number 286. Sing them over again to me, wonderful words of life. Let me more of their beauty see, wonderful words of life. Words of life and beauty, teach me faith and duty. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Christ the Blessed One gives to all wonderful words of life. Sinnerless to the loving call, wonderful words of life. All so freely given, wooing us to heaven. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Sweetly echo the gospel call, wonderful words of life. Offer pardon and peace to all, wonderful words of life. Jesus only Savior, sanctified forever. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. I will now turn the Bible study hour over to our pastor, Pastor Lloyd Grubb.
Excellent. One of the songs there with one of the best flows I know. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. So again, as we do our devotion to close off the Sabbath here, and we'll have, I don't even know what. So let's pray. Our Father who art in heaven, and we thank you again for your wonderful words of life and the value that it brings to our life and the blessings it brings to us. May you be with us, we pray, for Christ's sake. Amen. So we start off this half an hour together with Proverbs chapter 9, verse 6. Proverbs 9, verse 6, as we look at the pearl of great price. So the secondary thought I wanted to bring to you from this midday service to now is that when we're handling precious truths, why we don't go with the attitude that we put pearls before swines, or we, what do you say, we give what is holy to dogs, is because we're handling precious truths that are valuable to us. We find it as very valuable. And the thing is that when you find something of value and people treat it as if not as value, it can be quite disturbing or troubling. So we handle words of life as it is precious truths that have great and immense value to us, because they have brought good value to us in comparison to what men eat out there. In Proverbs chapter 9, verse 6, Proverbs chapter 9, verse 6, as we look at a pearl of a great price, it says, "Forsake the foolish and live, and go in the way of understanding." So the Bible says if you want to live in this life, you have to forsake people who are foolish, and you will live. "He that reprove a scorner getteth himself shame, and he that rebuke a wicked man getteth himself a blot." And this has been true as you have observed life. When you deal with a person who is very scornful and they think you and whatever truth you're saying is beneath them, and they can't submit themselves to that because they feel with arrogance, you realize that this person will get shamed to themselves. And this has been what I've observed in life. There's things that ventures that people go on that I can't believe that they thought it was going to be profitable and it was going to work out. But you realize there's a lot of foolish people in high positions in this life. "Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate you or hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. Give instructions to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One, understanding." And so really in this life, what we're really dealing with is not high position or low position, but it's just simply that the Bible breaks down life with those that are foolish and those that are wise, those that are righteous and those that are unrighteous. It's a very different way of breaking down life. It's not about nationality, it's not about race, it's not about financial status, it's not about social status. It's really about being wise and being foolish. And you can come into life and you can find people that are on the lower rungs of life when they come on to education, and they're very foolish. And you can come upon people who are lower rungs of life in education, and they're very wise. And the reverse is true also. So what the Bible says is simply that as you do this life, you can have a very stable life, a happier life, if you try to avoid people you try your best to avoid people that are very foolish, and people that lack understanding and happy in it, and they're scornful. And that's the worst. People lack understanding and they're scornful, and they're getting a beat down and you can't talk to them. That's the worst to deal with. And it's very, it makes you want to minister to people, but you realize that arrogance and pride is getting the better of them. And this is one of the things that you have to know going in this life, that you could see a person suffering, and because they're arrogant and they're prideful, you can't talk to them. You can't talk anything to them. They're suffering and you can't say anything to them, because anything you say, they're going to mock. I see so many people suffering from lack of nutrients, lack of some herbs, and you can't talk nothing to them because for them, they're so arrogant. And so you have to just be wise and just avoid them. And you try and they reject it. You just keep moving on. Matthew chapter 13, verse 44 through 46. Matthew chapter 13, verse 44 through 46. And it says, "The kingdom of heaven is like..." This has been the experience that I've experienced. So I only can say, I tell people I preach what I experience. I can't tell you that I'm preaching something that somebody's experienced or whatever, theoretical in a book. It's an experience. And I've found this to be true in the Word of God. And I found this to be true in the writing of Ellen G. White, and to be true in many of the sages that have lived in short life. That somebody might see them and say, okay, well, I don't get it. You see what they're saying, you read what they're saying, you see what they're saying, you watch a video, you say, this person has value. And you put your trust in that, and you put your effort in that, and you get value. Other people don't get nothing out of it. And that's part of the life we live. So again, the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field. This is what this life is all about. What we're really trying to do is find treasure, things that are of great value. Because when we take these things on our lives, we get good value. And this man, he says, found it. And he hide it. And he go out and sell all he had, and he buy the field. Because he said, if this is that good, this can make me very rich. So it's worth me securing it. So when we come on to serving the Lord, what we do is securing the riches, the real riches of this life. And when we secure it, it has immense value. You know, I don't know why, but it seemed like everywhere I go, Google been hitting me with ads for drugs. And the more the ads I read, so I'll click and read, and I think that's what it is. When I click the ad, they probably think I'm interested. But I read, that's what it is. I'm telling them to feed me more. And so, but what I'm doing, I'm reading them because I want to see the side effects and all this type of stuff. And I'm always amazed. And I'm saying, wow, that's a heavy price to pay for a solution. Because you're paying a price not just for the money. Then sometimes I find out the cost of these drugs. And these drugs for one course can be in the thousands. And I was like, this is amazing. This is good money on these drugs. And so, but somebody will look at that and say, that's good value. And then look at something that to me is of great value and say it's no value. I find it amazing. So for me, some of the herbs I take regular, as an example of this now, is ginkgo biloba gota cola. Those are some of the herbs I take. Brahmi. I guess I should need to take them more so I can remember. So those herbs are herbs for the mind. Now, if I'm having a low-grade headache, I'll just say, oh, I know what I need to do. And I'll take some of those herbs, Brahmi, ginkgo biloba, gota cola, stuff like that. And you just clear it up. I find those herbs to be immense. Because I was somebody when I was younger, I had to be sent home by the nurse a few times when I was young from school because I'd have migraine headaches that were so painful that I couldn't function. And I have these headaches where I start seeing light. I don't know if any of you ever suffer like that. No? You don't know what I'm talking about? Eh? Don't walk through it? So when my headache gonna start, I see lights just flashing in front, like just going in front of my eyes. And I have like a light show. And then I say, oh, the headaches are coming. And then after the light show, then just have a splitting headache. Right? So that's how I grew up. So that used to be debilitating because I had to leave from school because I couldn't function. It was just the head was just pounding. And then I discover ginkgo, gota cola. And I'm like, and then I discover what? Marriage. And then my headache went away, right? So, and then my headache went. And so so say I'm having a headache now, right? As the side shows. I'm having a headache. And I just take those herbs and my head just clear up. So last night now, I didn't go to bed. I think I went to bed 1 something in the morning. All right, so I went to bed 1 something in the morning. And I should have keep texting you all while y'all sleep. So I flood you all text with whatever. So anyhow, I went to bed once in the morning. But before I went to bed, about 12 something, I said, you know what, Ben, I'm gonna take some of those herbs, right? But I know those herbs will keep me up. So I took it, and about 1 something in the morning, I'm laying in the bed and I can't sleep, right? I'm like, man, why did I take these herbs? Because they'll just keep me up, so I can't sleep. Eh? Keep me up so I can't sleep. So I'm thinking, this thing work. And then now I finally fall asleep for whatever time. I don't even know when I fell asleep. And then at 7 something in the morning, I woke back up again. And I'm there waking up, laying there thinking about the sermon. And I'm like, man, this is amazing. And I'm thinking, how do you tell somebody the value of those things? Who have like problem because they'll have to take caffeine and stuff like that. You can tell them, so listen, I can take something to you that will give you a problem to not fall asleep. If you really need your energy and your alertness and your ability to concentrate, you need these herbs. And I'm somebody that's talking from a point of view of somebody that was afflicted to a point where now I don't even need a pain formula. I need something. I can just take those herbs to clear my brain out. Value, all right? And so somebody could say, what's the value of that? Well, the value depends on how you're afflicted. Does that make sense? Value depends on your afflicted. If you're poor and you have a little middle-class lifestyle, that could be like you're a king, right? Because you come from poverty to middle class. That middle-class lifestyle could be, you feel like you're living better than even a billionaire.
because you came from such a dire part. You see, value depends on where the person is coming from. So here, what I've noticed in life is that I could say something and say, this is value, and a person who needs it, who was a sufferer like me, you can't even talk to them, and that's where I think the problem is, even in preaching. How do you sometimes explain to a person, listen, there's value here that you can't imagine, and you can stop your suffering. And that's why I think the problem, like when we deal with preaching, because you really believe that this thing can give somebody help. And you've experienced the help, but you can't say to the person because arrogance is getting the best out of them. Or they're in a culture that would aggressive and very, dangerous when it comes on to like anything natural, that you can't explain to them. So listen, give it a try. It's not all quackery and crazy like what they tell you in the society. And so it is with even religion. So it is with God's truth. And this has even become more compound because I realize some of the worst people to try to preach anything to that's come on to certain understanding is people who, like, say, grew up in Adventist church, because they already hear so much foolishness, especially in Sabbath school and in sermons, that you can talk to them about, like, practical religion. They're the most worst people talking about practical religion, because for them, they have been fed a steady diet from them being a child of grace-orientated messages, that for them practical religion is almost abominable. Very sad. So they don't see no value in it. But for me, I see value in practical religion. In verse 45 says, again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearl, who when he had found one pearl of great price, he went and sold all that he had and bought it. Because what he is doing is securing. I was talking to Brother Green this week, and I was saying to him, like something was going on in the market, and then he said to me, said, Lloyd, just go look, pull back. He said, go on NVIDIA, he says, and pull it back and look at where it was, say 10 years ago. So I said, where was it? He said, just go look and see what it is. And I said, okay, so NVIDIA is trading at $400 and something a share, one share. But then 10 years ago, it was trading at, I think, $7 a share. Now, if I tell you that, I'm not telling you to do this, don't do this, but I'm just saying as an example, if you thought that says that thing was going to go to 700, I don't know if somebody could say think that, it could go to, you actually hit 500. Would you sell your house and buy it? At $7 a share, 10 years ago? It's a crazy thought, I know. And I'm not encouraging you to do that, because that could where you end up on the street. But you understand what the value is, right? Because there's somebody who bought it at that. And I doubt if they thought $500. Because that's almost 80 times. And you have to just imagine if the value of your house went up to, listen, I'm not promoting anything here. I'm definitely not saying that's not an investment strategy. That's a terrible idea. I'm just saying this is what happened here. The person already found it. And they say, if I secure this pearl with whatever I have, I know when I take the pearl now and sell it, I can get it at this. So again, if you could take your value house and calculate it by 80, would you secure the pearl? And the answer is yes. It's obvious. Somebody said, Lord, that's a no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Well, that's the story of Matthew 13, verse 44 to 46. So what I've learned over the years is that when I go and I read, say, Ellen G. White writing, and somebody say, Ellen G. White is a false prophet. And I say, really? I say, how? And they started telling me, I'm like, actually, that's what made me think she's a prophet. Some of the things that they're saying she's a false prophet for is my things I'm thinking, that's why she's a prophet. I'll give you a good example. Andrew White coined this very brilliant phrase that not even politicians in any country understand the phrase. She said the word the poor. You can understand what a worthy poor is. What's a worthy poor? The person that's worthy of charity. What we use, when you see that concept of a worthy poor, what do you see? A worthy poor.
A working person. Somebody who's working.
Okay, let her answer. But it's a good answer. Good answer, right? A person that's working. They're already trying, but they're poor still.
I was going to say the same thing. A person who is doing their best, but no matter how hard they're trying, they're still not going up in life. So that's why they are worthy. Yeah, they just need a little boost, basically.
They need a little boost, a little wind behind their sail, right? And I've lived all my life, and somebody said, oh, that's a false prophet. I'm like, really? So why any of your senators, Congress people, or your PhDs can come up with a phrase like that and define it? Because if you go in life and you say, I want to do God's will. If you don't have a philosophy like that, you get bilked with your money all the time. Because it's endless the amount of people that are poor, that are not worthy poor. There's no ends of that. We all will be broke if you try to help people that are not worthy poor. Because there's a whole bunch of people on the side of the street right now that they're there because of drug, not because they're working and they can't make their bills. And so how much money you have? The world will go broke if you try to help all those people. Because why? Because they're not worthy. But yet somebody going to say, oh, this person is so dangerous. Like, why are they dangerous? Oh, it's terrible. She said not to help the people them or just don't want to help themselves. But then I say you can't be more righteous than God. Because God helped those who help themselves. How are we going to be more righteous than God? And I've known people, I've worshiped with people, and I've dealt with people over the years who they think they're going to be more righteous than God, and they all fail. I've never met one of them that didn't fail. Because they're trying to do something that God won't do. God will not help a person who will not help themselves. God wants you to get up and help yourself. So the man sees something and they said, this is of value. And somebody said, oh, it's not of value. People say the Bible contradicts itself. I'm like, listen, Psalm chapter 1 doesn't contradict itself. Psalm chapter 1 doesn't. Genesis chapter 1 does not contradict itself. What part of the Bible contradicts itself? Where God killed wicked people? Because the Sodomites tell us that the Bible is terrible because Leviticus chapter 18. That people catching monkeypox from the anal sex. That doesn't, how is that contradictory? Proverbs chapter 15 verse 12. Proverbs 15 verse 12. So we understand that we are seeking value. We're seeking a blessing. We're seeking to increase. We're seeking to do better in our lives. And how we do that, we're always seeking the best. We go to the best people in the society. We go to the best people in the Bible. We go to the best people in history, and we learn from them. Because we're seeking to be the best. We're seeking to get the best experiences in this life. Again, as I always say, practice make perfect. What people have said over the years is perfect. Practice make perfect. You emulate, you reproduce people who did well for themselves, and you get good results. You can't emulate and reproduce and try to do what the drug users do. You know, if you follow somebody that smoke weed all day long, you'll get the results that weed smokers get. That's just a fact. It's just a fact. You want to burn weed all day long, you're going to get the results that people burn weed all day long get. And when you get older, you're going to lose your brain. That's all. You look at the results. The results are not, there's no error in the results. Proverbs chapter 15 verse 12 says, a scorner loveth not one that reproveth him, neither will he go unto the wise. That's just a fact. A person that's scornful and they hate knowledge, they hate wisdom, they hate understanding, they don't want to go to nobody wise because they like stupidity. And they like to get the results of stupidity. And so they're not going to go to it. They're just not for that. Proverbs chapter 2 verse 3 and 4. Proverbs 2 verse 3 and 4. It says, yea, if thou... You want to get a pearl with great price? What you want to do, you want to be able to be a person that is crying after knowledge. You want to be able to look after who is disseminating knowledge, who is dropping wisdom. The person that is a pig or a swine is a person that is rejecting knowledge and wisdom. It's a person that has seen no value in knowledge and wisdom. We, in turn, what we do, we take up an attitude that we want to be able to look for knowledge and wisdom. We want to be able to look for understanding. We want to grasp what's going on. I like to watch people who are trying to understand what's going on in any areas of our society. Because what it is, that you get to start getting into their head to see how they parse information, how they analyze information, how they see the information, and what it is you start to learn the methodology, and then you now, in turn, start to become like them. You start to be able to say, oh, when I see this happen, I know this is going to happen. Somebody say, how you know? Because you just start to learn how to take the information in. If thou seekest after her as silver, how do people search for silver? They keep chipping away, and they're just there. digging a hole and they're trying to find a seam. And as they find it, they get to the silver. How they do, they go into the river and they start to digging up and start to shake out and, you know, they do their thing. I've seen the videos. And what they're doing, they're trying to find silver. And when they start finding a little bit of silver, then they start to find more and more, because what it is I've learned over the years, when you start to seek after knowledge and understanding, what it is you start to find where to go to find the information. I really believe that says, although there's a thing with the major media, I think the problem is not so much the major media, is that people want the main line to give them what they're not supposed to get in the main line. Does that make sense? Right? How are you supposed to get information? You're supposed to go for it like you're looking for silver, you're looking for gold. Well, obviously, there could be gold on the surface, but all the time the gold is where? It's dig deep down. So what happens? You start to go over here, you find, and then probably the person say, hey, you know, I got this information from this person over here. I'd be like, Google, tell me, who's this person over here? And you go over there, you start, oh, that's where they're getting that information from. And then you get it over here, and then you go over there, and they say, oh, no, there's this other person over here sharing. They say, you know, I heard this thing from this other person over here. I'd be like, okay, let's go find out who's that person over here. I'd be like, oh, I see. You see, it's a process of self-discovery. Right? Because what you do, you're going after knowledge and wisdom, and as you go after knowledge and wisdom, what it is, you start finding more. And all of a sudden you start saying, oh, this is where the information is hid. Does that make sense? But before you go into mainline media, they're not supposed to. I mean, they're supposed to, but they're not supposed to. Does that make sense? Because if they were, it would be like, I guess they're supposed to, because that's what they pay for, and they claim that they're freedom of information and freedom of press. But that's not how life's supposed to work. You know what I'm saying? It's like, as I say, I always say, people say, okay, I'll give you an example. Is the Adventist church a true church? Yeah, but not really. Like, if you were living in a time, I'll give you an example. Don't click off here. Just bear with me here. If you were living in a time of Elijah, is truth in Israel? If you're living in a time of Elijah, is truth in Israel, physical location? Yes, truth was in Israel. All right? But is in truth in the mainline church? Are you going to go there and find that? No. But is Elijah in Israel? Yes. Is there a God in Israel? Yes. But you have to go dig.
It says that I have sheep. I have sheep not of this fold.
Oh, okay.
So that's where you got to look. Yeah.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. And that's really what it is. It's like, you're looking for something as value. Then most actually, as I read before, the merchantman is looking for a certain pearl. Is he know what he's looking for? Yes. But he's going to know when he sees it. Does that make sense? Because it's going to have a certain ring to it. Right? It's going to be something that you can say, oh no, I know what that is. I'm going to buy that.
Sometimes they have the tools that.
Like, just think about it, right? The mic next to you. Go on record, brother. State it for the record, but go ahead. You can say it to me.
No, the size of the pearl.
Right, but they know what they're looking. They have a tool. They have something that they know they're looking for. Okay, have you ever asked yourself, okay, so why do they know that something is a work of art? How do they know?
What do you mean, like your paintings?
Yeah, how do they know the painting is a work of art? Like it's really a real valuable thing. This is priceless. How do they know?
Maybe the methods that they used to paint was old.
Yeah, but how do you know? How do you, when you hear a song, you say this song 10 years from now is going to be a hit? 20 years from now is going to be a hit. How do you know? There's songs called out all the time. How do you know a movie's going to... If you're into that, you'll be like, yeah, I know this is a hit. How do you know, say, one artist or one painter or one actor is better than the other? Because you observe other actors or whatever, you say, this guy here has something different. This guy sounds a certain different. There's some clowns out there, the moment they stand up, they didn't even say one word, then people start laughing. You've seen that? Right? The person just stand there and they didn't even say nothing and people just think it's a joke. Because the person looks like a joke. Right? They just look like anything they're going to say is going to be funny. What do you think that person have done? They've mastered the craft. They know what they're doing. And so you can say there's something different. But you're not supposed to get that on a regular basis. It's supposed to be something that you say, oh no, there's something special here. I've seen stuff and I say, who designed that? That thing is nice. Who designed it? And I say, oh, that person desire, I can see it.
Sometimes the person is
Yeah. Because I'll have a few more points and then we're going to close. Okay.
no, sometimes the person is ahead of his time.
Right.
He's not popular then.
Right. But when you
Later
look at it, you
on.
say the person should have been popular. Right. You look at it, you say, this person has something that they're doing. Right. And normally that's how you do life. When you start to see life like that, you start to say, oh, no, I think that this person is onto something. Because you understand a flow. So that's why I say, when you look at it, say, if thou seekest out silver and search it for it as hid treasure. You have to look for truths like that. But I think people believe that says you're going to just go and it's going to be broad is the way and it's not going to be narrow is the way. You know, you're going to find truth in the time of Elijah or Elisha or whatever, and it's going to be just out there. I'm going, no, it's not going to be out there like that. It never was out there like that. It's in our modern time, we say that truth is out there like that. But truth doesn't never been like that. Because if it was like that, then it wouldn't be precious. Does that make sense? It wouldn't be precious because how can it be precious? It has to be something that it can't be just widely embraced, so to speak. Right? And if that was ever the case, then, you know, why search it for it like that? Proverbs chapter 3, verse 13 says, happy is the man that findeth wisdom. Always says, because this man here that writing this, Solomon, he understand the vibe for a good woman. And I believe his mother was that template. He just didn't find his mother in his relationships. And what it is that when you understand life, you understand the importance of choosing a wife that's going to give you this happiness. Notice here, length of days are in her right hand. Her, it's always mentioned her because this is so important. And in her left hand, riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness that most people never find this in this life. That's why so many people are suicidal. And all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life, literally, to them that lay hold on her. And happy is the one that retaineth her. That means you stay married to her all the rest of your life. And when you do life like this, life is better. And so there's a lot of people out there that they have some things, some creepy crawly that they say they're married to, and they're never going to be happy. Because what happened is some creature they're married to that's not going to give them happiness. We don't want to do that. Mark chapter 10, verse 28 through 31. We close with this. Mark chapter 10, verse 38 through 31. So I want to encourage you as we close that truth is of great value. And so I said we must be able to accept truth in whatever guise it might present itself. Because truth always presents itself in a certain guise. It never come out that is so apparent that there's value there, but when you get it, you say, I know what I have here. This is hot. This is good. This is great value. It's the same thing. I don't know about you, but I'll tell young people that when you're choosing a life partner, if you choose the wrong life partner, you will be whipped, hog-tied, as one of the sisters used to come here and say, hog-tied and whipped all the days of your life. You better choose right the partner you choose. And if you're just choosing somebody because you say that thing is hot, you will be hot, all right? But you will suffer for that. I'm going to tell you, your life partner is one of the most important things you can choose. It's like finding gold. You're looking for something that's going to bless your life and someone that's going to bless your life and spend your life with. I don't know which of the decisions we make in this life other than career that's more important. I don't know. I don't know if there's any other career. You know, you have God to choose and a spouse to choose. And I get third to that would be a career. Way distant third. I don't know. I've thought about it in my life. What's so important in this life? God, spouse, career. Where you live, how you live, I don't know. I don't know if any of those matter really much. Mark chapter 10, verse 28 through 31. Then Peter began to say unto him, and Jesus answered and said unto you, verily I say unto you, Jesus answered and said, verily I say unto you, there is no man that hath left house, brethren, sister, father, mother, wife, or children, or land, for my sake and the gospel, but shall receive 100-fold now in this time, houses, plural, brethren, plural, sisters, plural, mothers, plural, children, plural, lands, plural, with persecution, that's the negative, and in this world, to come, or in the world to come, eternal life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. It's been many years been on this planet. And one thing I can say, that last verse, verse 31, is really true. When I was younger, there's a lot of people that was first, and now they're last. That's a fact. Because they didn't appreciate the value of truth. They didn't appreciate the value of good people in their life. As I say, your choices is having a good church, which is, I call it God, part of the God situation. Good spouse. Later on, I'll say good friends. All that stuff. I've worshiped with people that they didn't have no concept of what a good church, belonging to a good people. And they ditched that for whatever. And then many people don't understand the value of choosing a good spouse. And then after that, I'll say career. You choose those things well in this life will bless you. You'll be immensely blessed. You make a mistake or you choose wrong in any of those three things, you'll be whipped, as I say, hogtied and beaten all day long. And you're just going to be sad. And I don't want you to be sad. I want you to be glad. So I'm going to tell you, choose the right way. Choose to take things and understand what real value and how you get to real value in this life. And you'll be blessed. Pray that God may bless you towards this end. We'll have more to say in the future. May God bless you. Sister Tamara will sing a song for us. Sing a song for them. That song was happy that you sing. I love that song. You sing earlier. May God bless you all.
We'll close with hymn number 50. Hymn number 50. Please rise for our closing hymn number 50.